Hey everyone, hope you're doing alright. It's me, Ethan. Welcome to the second episode, but technically I don't know, is this the third or the second? I don't really know. I'll title it. Welcome to the episode of the podcast. I hope you're all doing well and you're, coping with the absolute horror that is the first, month of this year, which normally happens. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe and everything like that. I just want to preface, I can't remember what it is, the episode today with a trigger warning message, because what I'm going to talk about in today's episode is about, mental health, self-harm and stuff like that, because I'm going to be talking about an event in my life that, very, very definitely changed me and set me on the path to depression and the ways that I think now and stuff like that. And I just want to say that obviously it's one of those things where it's I want to happen to me and I'm stronger kind of situations. It was just when people ask me about it, I'm always open to speak about what's happened about it, because I have nothing to hide. I've got no lies to tell about it. I was just a victim as much as I was, and all this kind of stuff in terms of people lying about me and everything like that. And I know in secondary school, everyone's like, oh, well, just kids, I don't know what they're doing, but it sticks with you. So, yeah, I'm going to say, to preface the episode with a trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about mental health, depression, self-harm, and suicide references as well. So, obviously, if this isn't your cup of tea, then I do apologise in advance. I'll probably write down on the title of this episode of where to skip to if you don't want to listen to, anything. In regards to that, but obviously I do like to speak my truth, and I do like to speak about this because it's one of those things where I'm always, I'm always happy to speak about it. So if you heard some interference there, I was just moving the mic stand. But yeah, hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you guys in the episode. This is like a pre-recorded intro to the actual thing first, and then I'll just let you know. Love you all. Peace out. Oh yeah, so I want to do a part of this podcast where I speak freely. And I try not to put any, I'm not going to try and put text in, or I'm not going to put any sounds in where I talk about, I can't script it. Basically, I'm not going to read from a script. The time is now 2:57 on the 1st of February, and it has been a very strange month, to say the least, in terms of, current events and everything like that. And it is very weird, and it's a very scary time to be alive right now, and I do feel everyone's empathy when it comes to that, and I do feel not empathy, I feel everyone's fear when it comes to it. And I just want to talk about how so a person sent me a news article completely by mistake, and this is a complete mistake, and if you listen to this, it's not your fault, don't worry. It just got me thinking about something recently, about how I am doing the best to live in complete blind ignorance. I want not ignorance, because I'm on the right side of the people who, are getting hurt, like civilians or trans people and everything like that. I'm on their side. I'm definitely not far right. I never have been, ever claimed to be. I believe in, we all should have a right to live. I think everyone has a right to live, and I think that, despite our flaws and methodology and ideologies, I think we're all humans at the same time, living on the same planet, completely misguided by horrible things that have happened to us, and I think we're all in a constant state of dread. And I think since 2020, everyone's been in a constant state of panic, and I do realise that, and I think it is completely within your rights to say you are freaking out. And I just want to say, when I was recommending the news article, obviously I couldn't see it because it's blocked. I've got news articles blocked on every single device that I own, and I would encourage people who don't really want to see this kind of stuff to go out of their way to utilise their social medias. So TikTok, you can put phrases down where you can, you put down certain phrases or certain hashtags that you don't want to see, and you won't get it seen on TikTok. Sometimes it pops up, obviously it'll come up BBC Scotland or BBC, so I've got BBC blocked on everything, but then there's BBC Scotland, then there's BBC Ireland, and then it'll be MSNBC or blah blah, even though I've got news completely blanked out of everything that I've done. So I want to say the algorithm, it's not the algorithm, I think it is just tech giants are really trying to fearmonger, because the more views that they get, the more money they earn, and just downrightly, I think that's all it is. I think it's just people trying to use fear for money, and I think fear isn't a good currency. I don't think it ever will be. I think love's a better currency than fear. Maybe sound like a right hippie just then, but I do wholeheartedly believe in stuff like that. That people actually are inherently good when they want to be, and I think our priorities are completely miscued and everything like that. So I just want people to know that living in ignorance is completely okay, as long as. But when you are going to do things, you just support them and all that kind of stuff, like grassroots and everything like that, and just support who you can, your friends, your family, and everything else like that, with people who are completely and understandably shaken up and struggling currently, I can't speak, and yeah, it's very weird, it's a very strange time to be alive, and that's why I'm kind of recording this at 3 in the morning now. Yeah, 3 in the morning, and I'm kind of worried that my next door neighbours will be banging on the wall telling me to shut up, but they don't. Do you know what? I'm just gonna say this. Like, obviously, I know my next door neighbours don't really listen to me, but I just want to do a big shout out to them. They're actually really sound people, and obviously, I'm loud. They can be loud at times, and I think we just have that mutual agreement that we just don't say anything about it. And like, obviously, yeah, if I was blasting music right now, understandably, if someone came at my door and they threatened to break my legs right now because of the music, that's completely justifiable. And I think I do talk, and I don't go to sleep as much as well. And I think they understand that I don't sleep. As I'm an autistic person who just doesn't have a sense. Like, I try to have a sense of routine and try to stick to it. But right now, I'm just like up, and I'm currently just sat here now talking to a microphone, which is currently on a stand, which is on a microphone stand that I bought for like 60 quid, and it's okay. I wish it could be lowered down because the microphone's like right in front of my eyes. So when I'm looking at the microphone, my mouth is speaking directly to it, but my eyes are like focused in the middle of it. So I'm going cockeyed while I'm trying to do this little impromptu sort of podcast thing. Suki is currently behind me. She's currently sat on a seat on a bed like she normally does, and then when I go to bed, I entice her with treats to go into my room to get her out of here, basically, because I don't like her being in the office on her own on a night, because there's wires and all sorts, and she is a very mischievous little scamp who likes to go everywhere in this house, to the point where I will lose her because she's running around, like, she just teleports. Like, there was a time when I first had her for the first, like, week of September, or the first time I got her, basically, and within the first week, I generally thought I'd let her out. I didn't. She was just literally following behind me as I was walking, so every time I looked behind me, she wasn't behind me, she was in front of me, or she'd be on the windowsill somewhere when I go to turn to her, and even I was looking on the windowsills, like opening on the curtains and everything like that, wondering if she got into the utility room, and I couldn't find her anywhere in the house, and I was freaking out. And then I just went downstairs again to go, and because I started messaging Tom saying I'm freaking out, I think I've lost the cat and all this kind of stuff, I can't find my cat. And then I literally just like turned around after sending a message saying, oh, she's got out, and then she's sat on the floor just looking straight up at me like, what? And I'm like, you don't realise how much shit you're going to be in, but for like giving me a heart attack, for like wondering that I lost you and all that kind of stuff. And that's just it. So yeah, she's currently sat behind me. It's currently 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just have these bursts of I want to say melancholy, but I don't really. I'm not sad. I'm just very mellowed out. I think it's because I'm tired. I guess actually I'm generally tired. And getting up into a routine has actually sorted my body clock out. So I was like, oh, I'll turn my alarms off because I've had sleep. I'll turn my alarms off and stuff, and I'm gonna get some good sleep and all that kind of stuff. And I was sleeping. It's the weekend, and then my body's naturally waking up at like 9 o'clock, and I'm just like, I need to get up, and I just do now. And I think that's good in changing your body clock. And I was watching a YouTube video recently about that going to bed early and having early mornings will completely change your life and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I do believe that, but I also believe in, I think it depends on what you're getting up early for, because if you're just going to get up and have breakfast and then just sit about, I don't get it. Like, I try to be creative in the afternoon, well, in the mornings and afternoons now as well, so I'll do a bit of digital art. I try not to come on the PC all day, because that's not what I want to do. But like moving about, I've been doing that, I've been doing weights, and I'm going to try and get, when I get the back garden trimmed, I'm going to start doing laps in the garden, stuff like that, waiting for summer to come through, basically. I think I'm terrified of summer as well, because of obviously, the big bad thing that we can't talk about at the moment, which we all know will affect all of us in some point in the future anyway, but like it's gonna get increasingly warmer, and that actually scares the living fuck out of me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's something that I've kept awake some nights thinking about as well. I'm up all fucking night, generally worrying about it, and I've started listening to myself, and I think I've started going to the whole mindset of like, it isn't affecting me right now, and it's not something I can control, even though I've tried it and like doing everything that I can to do it. And I think the one thing you need to start doing for yourself is just not blaming yourself for things that you can't control, or things that are... Hang on, I have to move on my seat. I don't think you should blame yourself for the things that you can't control or the things that you haven't caused. I think doing that is going to put you in a state of what I would call it false guilt. Like, you just don't want to feel guilty for something you didn't cause. And like I said, this podcast episode will be talking about guilt and everything like that. In terms of, obviously, I'm guessing I'm going to put this bit in after I've talked about the DS story. So obviously I'll just talk about this now. Obviously, when it came to the DS and stuff, I still felt guilty even though I never did it, and that's one of the biggest like things that have generally stuck with me. And as much as I don't like Joe Rogan, there was something he said about like, if people can't move past the past and they don't move forward or something, some people are still stuck in high school if they're just thinking of their mistakes rather than, you know, what they can change right now, what they can change, what they're currently doing, and the things that they want to change about themselves as well. I hope I'm not like just starting the mic as well, because I'm like moving my leg and I keep yawning, so I'm tired. I am remotely tired. I'm very extremely tired, and yeah, there's a lot of things that have been just around lately that I'm very currently just scared about, I guess. Getting older kind of like snuck up on me the other day. Like, I'm going to be 30 in 2 years. I know 30 in 2 years, 30 in 1 year technically. Which is daunting to say the least, but I think it's not how old you are, it's how you are old. I think it's what you choose to do and stuff like that later. You can still act as childish as you bloody want. Who gives a shit? You know? I think people are allowed to be silly. People should be silly as long as it's not hurting anybody. I think people can do whatever they want to do. And, you know, as long as you don't hurt anyone, and as long as you're not affecting other people's lives with it, I think you have the right to be as daft and stupid as you want, and that's completely fine. I think that's completely something that everyone is entitled to do. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I thought to myself, I'll plug the mic in, I'll plug the USB mic in, just start waffling absolute shite, and then I don't actually know what I'm saying, to be honest. I don't know where I was going to go with this, and I don't know. I'm currently streaming The Witcher 3. I haven't done the DLCs yet. I'm going to start doing that. I'm trying to get a perfect game on Sleeping Dogs, and then Spider-Man 2 came out for PC, which Tom has been playing like non-stop. He's been playing absolutely non-stop, on and off as well, and he is really enjoying it actually. It's a very strange tone, and it's a very strange like change of pace to what it is to the previous ones, like Miles Morales and Spider-Man, the original ones. Apparently it's just like, it's a very lot different, but I don't know yet because it's crashed on me multiple times, and I don't have it in me yet, because obviously I'm trying to get perfect games on other stuff currently. And that's a thing that I wanted to bring up as well, about the validity of perfect games and platinums and Xbox 360 like achievements and stuff. Like, do people feel, and you can answer this in the comments or whatever, do you feel like perfect games on Steam are just as obtainable as much as an achievement or whatever as getting a platinum for PS4 is? Like, do you think, because people can get full, so basically perfect game is a platinum, but it's what Steam is called. It's a perfect game. It's not a platinum. It's not complete. I don't know what it's called if you get all achievements on Xbox, but it's something like that, and I feel like it's just as valid. There's people that I know that are trophy hunters, platinum hunters, and I follow them all on Instagram. I would give them shout outs, but I can't, like, I don't know if they want me to do shout outs right now because this is impromptu, so obviously I haven't asked them, but there's people I know on Instagram who have done that, who do stuff like that, and I think, yeah, it's really good that they're doing platinums and all this kind of stuff. And like, someone I know's on like the 400th one or something. I'm on my oh god, I don't know how many perfect games I've actually got. I think I've got like 50, I think, or something like that, and I'm slowly, like, it's slowly climbing. I've got my Vampiric Misfit on my my Steam right now, and I go on my profile, my games, and then perfect games. I think I've got like, I don't know how many. I've got 40. Yeah, I've got 40 perfect games, and I've actually really enjoyed doing them. I enjoy doing them because it gives me something to do, and like I say, it gives me routine. And then, and the thing is, I always think to myself, when I say something to do, when I say it gives me something to do, I'm always worried there's like people in the comments saying, well, you could be doing is, you could have a job, you could do all this kind of shit. And I'm like, yeah, probably. And then I'll have a nervous breakdown because I can't focus with people, or I'll get completely shafted by the people that I work with because of my inadequacy to work or whatever, and all this kind of stuff, and it just, it makes me just worse. It makes me even worse. I'm currently off my medication as well. I've been off my medication for a week and a bit now, and it's been a hot minute since I've felt very low to the point where I want to do something drastic. I'm not going to. Just I'm going to preface this now to everyone that's like going, oh, he's going to, I'm not. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like, it's made me feel like that. And my pharmacy and my doctors are both fucking me about currently. They'll say, oh, come back to get your repeat dispensary in a month on this day when I went to go get it. Then I went to go get it, and I said, oh, well, your medicine isn't in. And I was like, well, you told me to get it in a month. I've got 10 more uses of it so I can use it. And then they started saying, oh, well, the doctors haven't sent it through. And I was like, that's a bit weird. Then the doctors said, oh, well, why are you asking us to send it? Because we can't do it over the phone. And I was like, the pharmacy told me to tell you. And then I said, well, why don't you do it on your online? And I went, the online also told me to ring up about prescriptions. So, make it make sense. I understand the NHS is completely on its arse at the moment, and like it's very destabilised and everything like that. It's destabilised, it's very unstable. That was the word I was looking for, bloody hell. And I understand that, but like there are people who are just generally going to suffer without. Like, we live in such a world of automation that I think it just gets buggered up, and I think it's just not going to work properly until someone like actually pulls the finger out their ass and does something about it. And mental health currently is at an all-time low for like so many people, and it's understandable. Like I said earlier in this like little ranting bit, it's completely understandable why people are a bit sad, and a bit, jumpy lately as well, because it's a weird time to be alive. It's a weird time to be alive. But I don't want to talk about too much of it on the podcast because I don't talk about that kind of stuff. I don't want to be topical and talk about stuff that scares me, because what's the point? It might be in some episodes where I can talk about it in a setting with friends because I'm comfy talking about these topics with friends, and I most likely will in future. But obviously I don't know yet. I'm not too sure yet. I don't know what the hell I was going to talk about. Valentine's Day, I guess. I think that was something else to talk about. I think Valentine's Day is very commercialised and stuff like that. I just don't believe in it, really. But if people are on their own for Valentine's Day and they want something to do, drop me a message. I'll be on Discord and I'll be playing stupid films for people to watch together, or could play a bit of Jackbox if Tom will allow it, or whatever, and all that kind of stuff. If you want to come on a Discord server, I'll ask Tom if I can link it in the description. And people can come and onto the Discord and have a chat with us, have a little natter, and it'll be good. It'll be cool. So, very unprofessional, but like I say, raw. And I think that's what Jess Pinkney's always said. Like, she's always gone completely raw with her podcast, where she'll, just do anything, just talk how you want to talk and speak naturally, don't edit it too much and everything like that. And I think it's more, you feel like you're having a conversation. But with me, it'd be a conversation with me, but I'll keep yawning, so you're having a sleepy conversation with someone who wants to go to sleep. But I can't if I tried, because I'm off my medication. My medication normally helps me sleep, but it gives me really bad nightmares, and then I won't sleep because of the nightmares. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Get good sleep, but also get nightmares, which is mental. But yeah, Valentine's Day is coming up soon, and I just want to tell people you're my Valentine. If you are, consensually, of course, you are my Valentine if you don't have one. So there's not what I can do about that. I'm afraid it's a law. But I think just to say it about love and everything else is that you are never unworthy of anyone's love, unless you're an arsehole, obviously. But you're never unworthy of people, and I think people are never unworthy of you, and all this kind of stuff. I think give hope a chance to, whatever you start with people flourishes into something. Is that a word? Flourishes? I don't believe. it turns into something better. You never know. You're not an unlovable person, and I think a lot of people will be sad on Valentine's Day because they don't have one. But then you have to think about, there are people that are posting on, that we posted on Facebook about their perfect relationships when they're, when everyone knows that this is a couple that argues all the time or breaks up every bloody week or all this kind of stuff. So I kind of feel like public displays of affection primarily on Valentine's Day are completely stupid. I think you should love a person every day, and I think you should publicly tell them whether you want to or not. Obviously, you can keep. I think we know too much about people's relationships lately, and I think that's kind of I can't remember what the word is, but it's kind of like a warped sort of sense of how we see relationships these days. I have to be chronically online. It's like how Tom says, you're not in a relationship unless it's Facebook famous, Facebook official, which is, half the time. You feel like, oh, well, I can't be in a relationship yet, and then I'll put on Facebook or something that I'm in a relationship, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, sound. And all this kind of stuff, and then that's okay. And I think relationships should be kept private unless you want to post couples pictures on Instagram or stuff, because that's completely up to you. I think how people decide to go about their relationships, whether it's public or private, is completely their choice, and I don't think you should moan about it. But then again, I literally just moan about it there, about people posting about it. So, but yeah, I just want to say to people that are currently feeling a bit like lonely, especially in this month, and especially with Valentine's Day coming up, that there's a lot of people in the world, and there's a lot of people in the world that haven't met you yet, and when they meet you, they probably will be quite surprised. And once you get yourself out there and everything else, it's scary. Like with dating apps, I don't use dating apps anymore. Don't touch them, because I just think they're very stupid, and all in my opinion, I think it is complete hookup culture, and I'm gonna be that person. Dating apps don't work for you unless you're attractive, and I think that sounds like an incel thing for me to say, and I think it probably does. So if anyone thinks, I'm not beating the allegations or whatever, but I'm not an incel. I'm just saying, like, I feel like there is still a bias when it comes to people being attractive and stuff like that when it comes to dating sites and everything else, and it's true. I do think there is still a bias unless you're attractive. No one gives a shit, which is like one of those weirder things. But still put yourself on dating apps anyway, because you might find someone. Anyway, you might find someone regardless, but it's just weird with dating apps at the moment, because I feel like as well, it's like how Charlie was telling me before, that it's definitely a competition, or it's definitely an ego boost half the time with Tinder when you get matches and all this kind of stuff. It's just to make you feel better when you get matches. Like my history is literally I'll match with someone and I will talk, and it'll be in my bio where it'll be like, I talk to people and I put effort into people and stuff like that. It's always me making the first message to put effort in, and then I get blocked on Tinder, or no one replies to me for like weeks, and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't see what the point in matching was. I think it's just because you could sometimes, so I don't know. But yeah, I think love and how humans are viewing each other at the moment is very superficial, and I think something definitely needs to be addressed with that, and I think something needs to be not done about it, because what are we going to do, really? What are we going to do? All that matters is how you see yourself, really. Is how you see yourself, and like how you project yourself to other people. I think that's all that really matters. As long as you're not being a dick to people, obviously. That's my give and take from it. But this is only just like a ranty... It wasn't even a ranty bit, it was just unscripted. Because I think if I go with the unscripted shit, I might know what I'm doing. But I don't, because I feel like... And I want... Tell you what, I'm just going to say this now, for the people that fully watch this episode. I want actual criticism of me doing this whole ranty bit, or this whole rambling thing. Is this something that would not take off, because I don't want to take off, is this something that people want to listen to where I'm just talking incoherently and I'm not actually sticking to a certain thing? Is it something people would like in future episodes? Because if I have like those random outbursts, because normally I'll script a video, I'll script a podcast episode, and then I'll talk, and I'll record it in one go, and then just upload it. I think what I did here, because I'm going to do a trigger warning, so obviously you heard the trigger warning if you're watching this bit, listen to this bit, sorry, about, what this video is going to, I keep saying it, what this podcast is going to contain, and now I'm doing this. Do people want to see me randomly just go, I'm having a burst of like what I want to speak about, and then just pick up the mic, or pick up my phone and do a voice recording and just move it over, and then just do that, and like do little rambling bits? Because that might be quite good to do, and I think it's something I want to be a bit more passionate about, being more raw with how I do things. So I don't know. But yeah, hope you're all well. Thank you for enjoying the ranty bit, and then now back onto the scripted bit. So yeah, take care. going to start again because we're professional. So I want to do this part of the podcast while I've got the energy to do so and while I actually want to talk about it. I'm not going to name and shame at all as much as I would like to and be like a petty bitch and be like, right, you know, name and shame this person for doing what they did and all this kind of stuff. We're just going to call him Dave because it's standard. Just call him Dave. So I had a friend called Dave, and through secondary school, I think a lot of people would vouch for me as well that I wasn't necessarily the most popular person, which is fair enough. I wasn't really asked about popularity in school. I was just asked about getting through it, and that is basically what I did. And you know, I'm happy that I'm not in secondary school. I'm happy I'm not in a particular certain school, which sent me a cease and desist because I was trying to do a documentary on how bad the teaching was. Well, how bad the approach to bullying was, and talked about like recent deaths that happened because of that school. And I'm not gonna name them obviously because I don't want to get shit, and I won't get shit. It was in uni, I think that's when that happened. But yeah, so we're thinking. I think it was year 9. I think it was year 9, or like just at the end of year 9, start of year 10. I think this is when this happened in secondary school. So for the Americans, I don't know what grade that is or whatever, but year 10 for us, so grade 10. Well, I don't know. I don't know how the American education system works in comparison to our amazing one. I'm joking. So me and Dave became friends through Xbox 360 and stuff like that. I said, oh well, I like Xbox games and I like gaming and stuff, and I was like I was an achievement hunter still back then. I was doing achievement stuff, and I helped him get a few achievements and all this kind of stuff. And we made friends through that. And he was obviously local to the area, so where we live, around, like in Billingham, he was local to there. So I used to go around his house a lot. Every now and then, he used to stay around. His mum, like, used to actually talk to my mum. Like, he used to come to the house to pick me up and stuff, and they got on very, very well. And I had a DS, right, a Nintendo DS, which was bought for me for my for Christmas off my granddad, I think it was. And it was like one of the first ones, like, like the chunky silver ones that you could get. It was one of them, and it was like one of the first ones with like Animal Crossing Wild World and stuff on it, and it was there. And it was obviously I had it for a while, and because of that, it was obviously I think the new DSs came out. So I don't know if it was the original. Still, this is the original one that was still out at the time. I don't know which one it was because Dave had 2, which was a bit weird to start off with because he was a single child, so this was that was that. Oh no, I think they had a sibling. I can't remember, but they were a single child basically. I think, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I'm not really asking if I'm wrong. But they had 2 DSs, right? But so anyway, I had my original one. I'm sorry if this is like different because I haven't really wrote anything down in like a timeline because I'm trying to get this from the top of my head so I can like be raw and emotional. If that makes sense, to actually like to tell you how it is. And this DS got broken because my mum is mentally ill. I think she's alright with me talking about it. Obviously I won't go into full details, but she was very mentally unwell at the time and she broke my DS. She like threw it at a wall and it snapped in half and stuff like that. So I didn't have a DS because she was mentally unwell, and I have no hatred towards my mum for that. I have no ill feelings or anything like that. Yeah, I was upset that she broke something in our time because our family grew up we're very lower class. My family, very working class family. So having things like that in terms of like having like the newest games or the newest whatever wasn't a thing. It wasn't a luxury until like a year after. So when so to put it in a perspective, like I still had a GameCube while people had original Xboxes, which they were still the same kind of that was new, kind of. The GameCubes were kind of new anyway, and I had GameCube games when I had like Xboxes and all this kind of stuff, and going on Xbox Live with the internet and all that kind of stuff. We didn't have we didn't have a family home computer until like bloody hell, I can't remember, until I was like 13, 12, something like that. And getting on the internet was because I remember being on YouTube in the front room when it first came out. Like that's when we first got it. Like it was a year after YouTube came out, I think it was, and that's when I discovered my love for Lego stop motion and stuff like that. That's a whole different story for another day. If you actually remember the OG videos that I used to do with my Lego There weren't even stop motions half the time. It was just us like playing with our hands and fucking like doing like just ripping off the Eddie Izzard Lego versions. So that was good. But yeah, so anyway, when I broke when my mum broke the DS, it was obviously sad and all this kind of stuff. And I was friends with Dave and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, "Oh well, I've got a DS if you need one." And I had this DS for a bit, and obviously I can't remember how it happened. I don't know how long I actually had it for. Like I think I had it for like a good like half a year. I had it for like a good couple of months, and there was this one time when he asked for it back, and I was like, okay, I gave it back to him. I think it was a DS. It was the new DS ones, the slim ones, like the first ones that came out. Not a 3DS, but the ones before that. So it was like the DS Lite, Nintendo Lite, DS, whatever the hell it was called. It was one of them, and it was a blue one. And obviously I gave him it back, and then I just forgot, because I kept forgetting to bring it to school, basically. And you know what? I'm going to hold my hand up. I wanted to keep it for longer. That is the only time when people could say that I stole it, right? And I was a stupid idiot for that. And like I said, I can actually hold myself accountable for that. And that's the only thing I'll hold myself accountable for, because everything else is everyone else's responsibility for what happened afterwards. So I think I missed it like twice. He was like, "Oh, I forgot to bring it in. Oh shit, I forgot to bring it in." And he brought it up, and I was like, "All right, sorry." So during the weekend and stuff like that, his mum came to get it, and I was like, "All right, here you go. There's the DS back in that." But what happened was that when I gave the DS back to his mum, my brother had put a sticker on the top of it. He put a sticker on top of the case, right? Because obviously he thought it was my DS because I had it for that long and all this kind of stuff, right? Because I said I just got it off a friend and whatnot. And obviously he'd put stickers on the case, and I'd try to get the stickers off by like obviously scratching it. So when you try to rip a sticker off, but it doesn't rip off fully, or like the underbit. I don't know what the underbit of is, like the bit that's in the middle of the graphic and the sticker, like the cardboardy kind of like fabric. I don't know what thing it is, but that bit that was still on. And his mum came to the door, and she didn't say a fucking word to me. This is the weird bit. She didn't say a fucking word to me, even though she was sound with me. His mum was always lovely to me. This was when I used to be mute to like my friends' parents. Like I never like when I used to stay around his, and I'd be like, I'd have breakfast in the kitchen with his mum and stuff. She was trying to talk to me, and I was speaking every now and then, but I wouldn't speak unless I was spoken to in front of people's parents, because I was like, every time that I was in someone's house that wasn't mine, I was literally wouldn't speak. It's their rules. If they speak to me, I'll speak back, and that's it. And I would sit still, or I'd do something if I was told to do it. I wouldn't just do anything on my own free will. Like I'd hold going to the bathroom in and stuff until I got home and all this kind of shit. Like I wouldn't dare ask to go to the bathroom and stuff like this. And then I got on eventually with my friend, we'll call him Jimmy. I got on with his mum way better, and his family are amazing, by the way, and I will wholeheartedly respect them. Because when all of this happened, like their parents were very sound to me, and like they were saying like this has happened before and all this kind of stuff, and they were on my side, and obviously I made friends with him. But anyway, back to Dave. We'll go back to Dave. So I gave the DS to Dave's mum, and she didn't really speak to me. She just like came to the door, took it off me, and I was like, "Oh, I'll sorry if I come round over the weekend." And she went, "No, I don't know," and just walked off, and she got in the car, drove off, and that was it. And she looked fairly angry, and I was like, she's probably angry because she saw me try, like, I said, "Oh," I did say to her, the stickers, my brother's put stickers on the top of it, and I tried to get it off, but I couldn't manage it, and I told her that was the only issue. The stylus, I'd lost the stylus for it, and I told him this. I said, "I've lost the stylus, but I know where to get a spare one," because my cousin Kai gave me a spare one because he had a DS at the time, and obviously it wasn't the same one because it was like a light matte blue sort of DS, and the stylus that was in it was like a see-through green one. I was like, it wasn't one that even fit. I don't think it was for another DS or something. So we did that, gave him it back, and then that was it. That was the whole thing, right? And then it turns out, and then obviously a rumor started going on. Everyone started being fucking really weird with me, and it all just came out. I think it was like, "Oh, you've sold DS off him," and I was like, off Dave, and I was like, I don't think I did. I haven't stolen anything. So, but a bit more context to this is that when I was a kid, right, and people need to understand. I think a lot of people need to understand this about certain things, right? Nowadays, if I see people stealing from shops or anything, I didn't see them to do whatever. You can shoplift to your heart's fucking content, right? I don't personally, but if you're going to shoplift, just do it, because you're not fucking hurting anyone. It doesn't come out of the pockets of the employees. It comes out of the pockets of the company, and they don't give a shit, right? But that's like a wider picture of everything else. It's like when it comes to shoplifting, or it comes to, corporate policy and how, like, sorry if I hit the mic, by the way. But it comes to corporate policy and how to treat people that have shoplifted, or the workers that have made it happen, or, all this kind of stuff. That's a whole different story, right? So because of this, and obviously, I'll give you a bit more context, as I was saying, is that when I was a kid and we didn't have a lot of stuff growing up, I went to my cousin's, and if Kai watches the podcast, which he doesn't, but he probably won't or whatever, if you listen to this, I am sorry so he had, like, the Lego Harry Potter, but I mean, like, the original Lego Harry Potter is, like, the cool one, and I stole a Lego, I stole like a minifigure off him, right? I think it was because I just wanted it, because I didn't have a lot of Lego as a kid. I didn't have the sets or anything. I just had a mix match of pieces and all this kind of stuff. And when I used to go with my friend, Bobby, we'll call him that. When I used to go with my mate Bobby's and that, right? We used to like play Lego and stuff, and he had like all the new Star Wars clone troopers and all this kind of stuff, and I just had like really shoddy minifigures and all this kind of stuff, and I didn't do much with, like, oddly enough, like, I couldn't do much because I didn't have the sets or anything, so I had to, like, borrow theirs and all this kind of stuff when we were playing and stuff. I didn't take it home or anything like that. And what happened is that, because of that, there was a stigma to me where, because I've done it once to a family member, when I used to go at my cousin Kai's, I was like, his mum would make me sit downstairs, his mum would make me sleep downstairs, because she didn't trust me upstairs, because I took a fucking minifig, right? That was it. And then, I think my mum must have said that to Dave's mum. Like, I think my mum must have said that to Dave's mum and all this kind of stuff. And then Dave started making up this whole lies about, well, Ethan stole a DS and all this kind of stuff. And he, and that was it. And then it caused, like, a whole massive stigma about people trusting me and people just always making it a joke. And because of... So I wasn't diagnosed with autism until I was, like, 18 years old. So this is at the time when I just didn't know... I couldn't take a joke, and I still really can't take jokes if it was jokes, but it got to a point where people were just stealing off me, because it was like, well, it was alright, so people used to just take shit out of my bag and fucking, like, chuck it somewhere and all this kind of stuff. During PE, I used to get picked on quite a fair bit and stuff like that, because, I don't know, I just got picked on, really, I got bullied, and this really intensified it to the point where, and this is when, obviously, this is what the trigger warning at the beginning of the episode is for, this was when I started self-harming. Now... self-harming was addiction to me. It was I wasn't doing it because I was upset. I was doing it because I liked it. I was doing it because it made me feel like just so much better. Like, do you know the lyric from Goo Goo Dolls when it's, you bleed just to know you're alive? That's what I did. I used to cut myself just so I knew I had some sentience, so I knew I was like, I was still living through horrible times and I deserved to have this. I used to cut my face. I know people, you can't really see the scars that are on, like, under my, like, on my eyes, because the bags of my eyes from lack of sleep would probably covered them anyway. But I used to cut my face as well. I used to cut my legs, my arms, and everything like that. So, yeah, it was one of those things where I got really bad with it. And, yeah, there was two where I nearly actually hit an artery, that was really bad. That was extremely bad. My mum didn't get me. I didn't hit one. I was just about to, like, I was like an inch off or something, my mum had said, because my mum also has issues. She had issues with it, she doesn't now. Love your mum, by the way. So because of this, I got, like, really suicidal, and I used to try to take, like, overdoses on anything. Like, I did an overdose on my sister's iron tablets before, and I just, anything that I can get my hands on, where I thought, if I take a large amount of it, I'll die, sort of thing. And it got really bad, and I missed a lot of school because of this, because I just didn't want to go in, and my mum knew, and my mum knew what was going on. And it also got to a point where, now, I can't remember, so Mum's going to have to clear this up for me, because I don't know. But I said, right, fuck it. I was getting sick of being bullied, so we're going to go to the police station in, I don't know where it was, I think it was Stockton or somewhere. And we're going to give a report, right? We're going to give a police report about what had happened. And I said, right, I'm getting bullied in school because I've been accused of doing something that I didn't do. And I'm like, what was it? I stole something off another student. Now, I can't remember if I was asked to go in by Dave's parents, or my mum said it was just best to go in to, like, settle things, to give me some form of closure or whatever. So I went to the police station and I told them about, this is what he keeps saying about me. it's making me suicidal, it's making me self-harm, and all this kind of stuff. And I told him the story of, like, I gave him it back, and all this kind of stuff, and then he started saying that I stole it and everything else, and I got bullied beyond fucking, I just got bullied so fucking much I couldn't take it anymore, and I tried to end my life when I was, like, I think 3 times in secondary school, and it was a bad time and all this kind of stuff, and we did a police report, but we didn't really hear anything back, and it was how we didn't hear anything back because it was a stupid thing for a person to go to a police station for, because they're not asked, right? Or it was because, and I think this is the second one, I think the second one makes more sense. I think it's because Dave's parents actually got onto it, because they fingerprinted me, by the way, and everything else, and I went on, that was something else when I was a kid, that was for vandalism. Anyway, but yeah, so I went to told him about it and all this kind of stuff, and yeah, I don't think his parents actually ever got back to me because they knew that because I've given a police report now, I've actually taken it seriously to the point where this isn't just kids saying horrible shit about each other. This is like a genuine thing where a person has said so much stuff that it's ruined my life. Like, it's generally ruined my school life, and it made me so fucking bad, and it lost, like, my family even stopped trusting me when they obviously heard about it and everything like that. So we're going to get on to the next part, which is the aftermath of all of this. So I never heard from anything. And I think it was like the first week of year 10, this was before I broke my leg, so first week of year 10 or something, he was like, right, I'm going to get you for stealing my DS, and I was like, okay. I didn't see nothing of it, I was like, okay. And I was walking home from school like I normally do, and I was going across the road, and obviously I saw him, like, look behind me, he was walking behind me, like, faster, and I was like, fucking hell. I ran over the road, because where our school was, there's like a main road, and then, like, I ran over that road as cars were coming past us, and he, like, sprinted, and you know those, like, green electric boxes where, like, wires and stuff are? He pinned me against that, and I didn't fight back, because I was like, I know for a fact I didn't do fucking anything, so you can do all you want. I was going to have a talk with him. I was like, you can do whatever you want. You can push me against the fucking wall. You can do all this kind of shit to try and make yourself look hard and all this kind of stuff. And I just want to tell you, I said, I didn't fucking do what you've done, and you're just pathetic for making all of this up. You're just a fucking horrible, disgusting human being for ruining someone's life over something that they didn't do, which you know fine well is the truth that I gave it back, right? So, but then the teacher separated us and told him, like, go home now, get away from him. And he's like, you alright? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, and all this kind of stuff. And then, you know, walked back home with my safe friends in quotations. And I walked back home with them. And that made things even worse. So I tried to take my own life on that part as well. Same day, which was because of that. And I was like, because I couldn't cope with it. Because, like, everyone would fucking just treat me like shit because of this one incident. And then I found out, now this is, my friend Sean has said that I can say his name, so that's why I'm saying his name properly. My friend Sean was accused of it. He was accused of stealing his DS, I think before me, or during this at the same time. And the second that, like, Sean's mum went to go and talk to Dave's parents about it, they just all of a sudden just stopped instantly, and then Sean got nothing. He got no repercussions from it, or, like, where people were, like, slagging Sean off and stuff like this and taking the piss out of him and whatever. It was just purely because of that. And that's the part where I was like, okay, so that's when I knew this isn't something that was an isolated incident where it just all this happened to me. It's something where, because I think you piss Dave off, he's done something to lie about you, because it's the easiest thing to say, because obviously me taking the DS was still the current sort of, like, you know, big massive rumour in the school or whatever, and then, you know, I got bullied for that, and then obviously because Sean must have knocked him off at some point, that's what he's done the same thing to him. Also, I'm sorry if I sound nasally, by the way, because I think I've got a cold coming on, but I'm trying to get through this and trying to record this as quick as I can, but whilst I've got the energy to do so, because I've not had the energy, because I don't really like talking about this as much as I do, but it's something I need to get off my chest, and to be honest, talking about this has actually really got this off my chest, and I'm happy about it. I just wish, you know, my cold would get off my chest, but it hasn't. But anyway, back to that. So, and Sean, like, was vindicated pretty much straight away, sorry, short tongue. He was vindicated straight away, and he was like, you know, nothing really happened, he was fine about it, and all that kind of stuff, and then it kind of ceased for a bit when I broke my leg. So when I broke my leg, people actually started treating me normally, but it was because they knew that if they were nice to me, they could probably get out to fucking school dinners early. Yes, I'm looking at you. If you're listening to this fucking podcast, yes, I'm looking at you. You only said you were gonna come for me so you can get to lunch early. Which, you know what? Fair enough, because it's like vultures if you don't get there quick enough when it came to like food at our school and stuff like that. And when I broke my leg, everyone was actually a bit nicer to me, except they weren't, because people started saying, oh, well, you're not getting any more attention now because people have said that you didn't, like, because people have said that you're, like, people haven't mentioned the DS thing for a while. People think, and this is an honest reaction, because other people in my year have told me, there's people I can come on to this and say the exact same thing. People in my year were saying that I purposefully broke my leg for attention, and that is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I broke my leg on the trampoline purely because of negligence, because of myself, because it was a genuine accident. I wasn't thinking, and I was like so fucking bad mentally that I wasn't asked about safety, so I wanted to see how high I can get on the trampoline, tried to do a seat drop, and cross my legs by accident, fucking snap my leg. Everyone knows the whole story anyway to that, which was mental in itself. That's a podcast episode and a half, to be fair. But everyone started treating me more nicer. Everyone started, treating me less like shit, which was alright. I still got bullied a fair bit every now and then, but that was alright. But the last year, so year 11 was when obviously I had to go and do GCSEs. And then through most of the time, I stayed at home. I only came into school to do GCSEs, and I mean, everyone else kind of did that as well because that's what they did. But yeah, I was just treated better because I was in a wheelchair, and I think people felt sorry for me because obviously they knew. I did say to people I was mentally unwell because of this, and I tried to kill myself, and a lot of people started toning it down because I think it's that guilt that's set in. It's that guilt. There was another thing that I need to bring up, which is before the leg breaking, obviously. So, the school that we went to, which I'm not going to name, because, if I could ever do a video on them where I wasn't asked about the repercussions, I will, and I would love to, but I just don't want to get myself into that shit, so I'm not going to. But that school, when it comes to the approach of bullying, is horrendous. It is the worst kind. So, when I told the school that this was happening, because obviously the incident when Dave chased me across the road and stuff like that and pinned me against the electric box thingy, that's when I think the school was notified because it was a teacher who split us up, right? Or it might have been that I arranged it, I can't remember. But our head of year was like, right, so what's going on? And I was like, right, Dave said that I stole the S off him, and it's been a whole running thing, and he's know how bad I've been because I've been going to counselling. I had a counsellor when I was in secondary, I had to miss obviously I missed certain periods because I was in counselling sessions and stuff like that with a lovely woman. I can't remember what her name was, but she helped me through a lot of things, and I'm really grateful for that. So we did all that, and she helped me through this. And then our head helped me through that, sorry. And our head of year was like, okay, so what happened? Told him. And then the thing is, he brought Dave into the fucking room to say, this is what Ethan's been saying, and he wants you to just, he wants to talk to you. I said to him, do you, this was when he was in the same room as me, and I can't, I'm just going to say this, right? I said to him, you think that I stole a DS when you know fine well that I didn't? He didn't say a fucking word back. He didn't say, I know you did, or anything like that to defend his fucking stupid, pathetic little fucking lie that he made up, right? He didn't say a single fucking word to back himself up. He just started agreeing with what I was saying. I was saying, you made me feel fucking terrible. You've made me feel so fucking bad that I don't want to be alive anymore, and all this kind of shit. And he just agreed. He didn't even try to say that I still did it or anything like that, or fucking double down, triple down, fucking whatever he was gonna do. He just stayed in his fucking, he just stuck in his little fucking shell and just quivered, right? So because of this, that was it. Everything intensified because I was now a grass, even though I was going because the school told him to be in the same room as me and him, and then he told everyone that I've started grassing now or anything like this to get the teachers to sort it out, and I was a coward and all this kind of shit. And I was like, I had nowhere else to turn, to the point where I was trying to fucking kill myself on a monthly basis and stuff like this. I was so fucking mentally ill. I can't stress out how fucking bad I was. I can't stress how much I wanted to die and how much it really fucking affected me. I can't stress that enough. And Yeah, I'm better for that. I'm better for it now, and talking about it to make me feel miles better. With my YouTube channel as well, is that I made a video about this. If you just want to watch it, I'll take it out of my private I'll take it out of the private videos that I've got and put it back on. And I talked about the incident anyway, about bullying, and he wrote a big fuck off paragraph. I might have deleted the video, which if I've deleted it, it's my bad. But he wrote like big fuck off paragraphs about how I'm trying to make things up to say that I'm a martyr and all this kind of stuff. And like, I'm not a martyr. You fucking said that I stole off you, which never fucking happened. Your mum was pissy about it because I'd fucking broke your desk, which I apologise for, which I was saying you can literally get the sticker off by watching it, but I tried my hardest to get it off, and that might have been a reason. You tried it on fucking Sean, which failed, right? I'm not vindicated, or I'm not a martyr in any way, shape or form. You made such a horrible lie, which turned most of the fucking school onto me, because I was getting bullied enough as it was by the fucking year above us, which is a whole different thing, by the way. You're also fucking pathetic fucking scum as well. I don't give a shit when people say, oh, well, kids don't know any better. Kids don't know any better. Oh, well, so did kids know any better when I was chasing the fucking railway tracks, and I had tried to jump on the fucking tracks, and then he got run over by a fucking train? Is that kids not knowing any better? Or was that people actually trying to fucking maliciously hurt someone? Because that's the thing. Like, I was going through so much shit. I'm not a martyr. I was a fucking victim of bullying. That's it. That is literally the short end of the fucking stick of the whole story. And it fucked me up. And I think it's still fucked me up now, but I'm genuinely getting better from it. And that's why I wanted to do this as quick as I could, like now, so I've got the emotion to do so. I've got the emotion to talk about it and everything like that. So I am sorry if I've ranted on not being a bit coherent in the timeline, but that's it. So we skip a couple of years after school, and I mean a couple of years. I mean after college, like nearly a decade after. I am bisexual. This is no closed secret. I'm a bisexual person. I'm a bisexual man, and I like men and I like women, right? So I go on dating apps. And what dating apps do I go on if I'm well, half gay, half straight, as my friends put it, but that's not how it is. But yeah, I go on Grindr, right? Because that's what people do. That's what gay people do for dating, even though it's not for dating, let's face it. He finds me on Grindr, drops little subtle hints on who he is, because he's like, oh, I know who you are, but I don't know who you think. I don't know if you know who I am. And I was like, I'm not too sure. And then he brought it up. And I said, you're actually trying to fucking hook up with me after saying that I stole from you when we were kids, and when we were, like, obviously when we were kids and all this kind of stuff. And you're trying to fucking hook up with me now. And he admitted it. And you can't screenshot Grindr, which is cool. Like, that's good because it saves anonymity and all that kind of shit. And that's good. That's what more dating apps need, where, you know, it's protection against screenshots and stuff like that. And he said, like, oh, I'm sorry about the past and all this kind of things, and it was a dumb thing. So I was like, so you admitted that the whole thing was a lie, and now all of that could have been spared. All of that could have been unnecessary. All of the shit that happened to me would never have happened if it wasn't for you. You fucking ruined my life, and you made people hate me, including my fucking family, for something that I didn't fucking do. And I've proved countless times that I'm right and never did. And that was it. And then I blocked him on everything. I haven't spoken to him since, and I haven't really heard a peep from people asking me about the situation. Besides Rivers on Twitch, who was asking me, you know, to talk about it. And you know what? I'm gonna say a big thank you to Rivers or NCR Ranger, you know, whatever. I want to say a big thank you to you actually asking me to do this, because I'm happy that I've said all of this now, and it's the easiest way. So if people actually do have questions and they want to say, like, they've got any other questions to ask me, then you can, and that is fine. I will happily answer them, because I will talk about it if I'm asked about it, because I know, and I'll give you the same answers every time, because I'm not lying about this. This never happened. Me stealing the DS never happened. His mum lent me one. I gave it back, obviously, try to get a sticker off it. Yeah, I kept it for a bit longer than I should have done. And like I said, that's the accountability that I'll hold up to myself, and that's fine. I went to the police, not heard a word, no pressing charges or anything like that. The mum never pressed charges or anything, or did a counter argument thing. I don't know what it's like if you report someone to do a counter report or whatever. I don't know how it works, but yeah. And that's it. And that is the story of how I apparently stole a DS and, you know, lost a really good friend, because it's a shame, because Dave was nice when it was just me and him. He was really nice, he was really lovely, and it's a shame, because he was a funny person. He was so fucking funny. because like even then, like on Xbox Live parties and stuff, I kept getting kicked from them purely because of this lie, and I wasn't going anything. I was isolated from people until Sean. I'm gonna mention a couple of people until Sean, Casey, because it was two, Jazz and all them kind of people, and all of you. So I didn't mention you. Doesn't mean I forgot you. Just top of my head sort of thing. I love you, and I appreciate you for actually being friends with me through this whole thing and understanding me, especially during college when we all sort of like reconnected and all that kind of shit and all the house parties and everything like that. You never treated me like, differently because of something that happened in school. You never looked down on me. And the people like the goths, the ex-goths or the emos or whatever that I used to hang about with at the forum fans and everything like that, you are some of the nicest people that I've ever met, and I'm glad that you's actually, we had that friend group, and I'm happy that you's brought me into that friend group, because it really got me through college, because I didn't know if I was going to survive college. I didn't know if I was going to be alive to get to college, to be honest. Like, when we first, like, I think, just to go on a tangent, when we got into the groups that used to hang on the forum fans, it was like during like the 6 weeks, something before I went back to college, like the second year of college, and like they were playing basketball, and it just went from there. And then I was going to house parties, we were just hanging out and all that kind of stuff. It was like, everyone kept saying, that's just like skins this. So I was like, that's cringy, but whatever. But you are the nicest people. And Sean, I'm not going to say your second name, so obviously, but Sean, and I want to mention Kristen as well. Yous took me in as well from everything and all that. When you know how bad I was, you knew I had self-harm scars, and you weren't bothered about it. You never asked me about it, but you treated me like family, and you treated me like I actually meant something to people for quite a long time in my life, where I felt like I was nothing to anyone, and that, like, I wouldn't be alive saying this now if it wasn't for people like you, like, who, told me that it was all a lie, and you actually supported me, and like it was all bullshit, and it was all like kiddie politics, as I call it. And I'm happy that you made me feel wanted, and you made me feel respected and everything like that, and I can't thank you enough, and I love you deeply, to everyone that supported me, so including Tom. I mean, Tom wasn't around during then, but I mean, like, Tom, Charlie, the Discord, Connor Lavender, and everything like that. Like, I'm so happy that you's all embrace me, and like, you don't see me as a burden, because I feel like my mental health can really make me feel like I'm not worthy of anyone's attention, or I'm not worthy of being alive, and I still have these moments where that, and obviously I ground myself and say, like, I'll be sat in a room with you all, we'll all be drinking or whatever, and I'll say, this is what life's about. This is literally what life is about. It's about being with good people and being with good company. And I just want to say that if you're getting bullied in school, talk to someone. And as horrible as it sounds, like, the school that if you know what school I'm on about, they're horrible, and I really think they need to sort their approach out to bullying, because it's a horrible, disgusting fucking thing that shouldn't be happening in this day and age now, in the world of, like, accepting people for who they are and the differences that we all have and stuff, and we're getting more progressive and everything like that. Bullying shouldn't be a thing anymore. This shouldn't still be happening. It's just not fair. So I want to say this to obviously, not, I know kids aren't going to watch this fucking podcast, but I'm going to say this to kids who are in secondary, or you're in like college, or you're in university or work as well. I know people say, like, you're just kids, or you do stupid shit, but you have to remember that the things that you do to people now may affect them for the rest of their life, even if it's something really small or something like that. Making them feel like less of a human being will lead them down paths that I've been down, in terms of, suicide and everything like that. You may lead someone to a path of self-destruction that they can never come back from, and you will be I'm not going to say it in terms of, like, but I hope, if you did something like that to someone, and that they've ended their life, because I hope that you feel complete guilt in that. I hope that you feel completely guilty in the way that they go, and I hope it fucking eats you inside. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say it like that. I don't know if it's like, because, mental health matters. I'm always an advocate for mental health. People talking about things. Don't self-harm, for the love of fucking Christ. Don't do it, because you can't get cool tattoos if you buggy your skin up, you know what I mean? And I know that. I do have had, so don't self-harm, because you can't get cool tattoos in the long run and everything like that. So, and don't bully people, because, and I think, I'm going to say this if you're watching this, which people probably aren't. If you're watching this and you are currently bullying someone, wind your fucking neck in, because when you become an adult and you start realising how fucking miserable you are because you've pushed people away by being vitriolic, it will eat you up inside for the rest of your life. And I hope it does if you don't stop your ways, and I hope it doesn't if you do stop your ways. And that's the rest of this podcast. and I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for listening. I've managed to talk about this for fucking 35 minutes nearly. That's mental. That is actually insane. So, Dave, if you ever do watch this, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And for everyone else, I love yous for supporting me, and I love yous for, like, listening to me. And I hope that my mental health hasn't made me hard to love sometimes. And I love you all dearly. Thank you. Hey everyone, I just want to reiterate, because obviously as you can tell the mic quality's changed. This is because this is like a footnote sort of thing that I want to talk about. Just very quickly anyway. There was a thing, as much as I don't like Joe Rogan, and I don't know where the quote actually comes from. So if anyone can, like, you know, enlighten me or whatever, like in the future, let me know. But there was a quote where it was like, if people are just focusing on all the things that went bad with their lives in the past, then most people are just stuck in high school. And I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted to make this episode in the first place and talk about what had happened to me, in terms of how, you know, all this kind of stuff. But it is something that generally resonated with me, and that I understand that people have childhood trauma that is a lot more complex than what happened to me, obviously, in terms of like family members or whatever, and all that kind of horrible dark shit, which obviously I'm not going to talk about and stuff. So I understand that people probably did have it worse than me and everything else like that. But I also want to just mention that I think that if you make your past completely about completely the ruling factor of your life, you're not going to get anywhere. And I'm just going to say that as well, is that bad things happen to you. You didn't deserve it. No one deserves to have horrible things said about them. No one deserves to have horrible things being done to them, or any kind of sort of thing like that. So I just want to put that out, is that you know, people will be stuck in this kind of way of thinking if they just focus on how all the bad things happen to them in school and all this kind of stuff. And that's what I've been trying to do, is that I've been more creative with myself. I've given myself more forgiveness in the things that I can't control, or the things that I've messed up and everything like that. And I'm more loving, and I'm more generous. Like, I don't have bad words to say about people at all, because I just don't see the point. I don't see the point in making someone miserable to make me feel better. And I will never notice that, and I will never, like, say, like, horrible things to make someone bad just because, you know, I feel like it, or something like that. And I feel like if there is something that you are stuck with, just don't take it out on other people that don't deserve it. Don't take it out on people that haven't even bothered you. Just talk to someone, or, you know, get therapy or something like that, and, you know, talk through it with people. So yeah, that's it. Just want to add that in. Thanks. But anyway, thank you for watching the podcast. This will be after everything. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching the podcast. Episode 2 is great. I just want to do shout outs to, obviously, Con Lavender still for the subs, and I want to give a shout out to Charlie. Mainly, you've been my rock. Charlie, you've been an absolute fucking star when it comes to supporting all the things that I've been doing. And everyone else in the Discord as well, like Tom and Nick and stuff like that, and actually saying that I'm doing well. And to Finest Queen as well, and to everyone in my Discord, on my actual Vampiric Misfit Discord, which people might be able to join soon when I make it public. I don't know yet. But I love you all so fucking much, and I appreciate all the support, and I'm going to continue doing things for people like you, for people that actually give things to their friends, to people that actually say, like, you're doing well, and supporting friends rather than getting jealous or doing anything like that, where it's like it comes to a situation where, you know, you're just jealous of your friends and you're not really supporting them and stuff like that, when you could just be supportive and help them through everything else. Like I say, a big thank you as well to Jess Pinkney for making me want to do these podcasts, for making me want to do it more, and to talk about things a lot more in a raw emotional sense and everything like that. Can't thank you enough for that. So yeah, thank you for watching the Somehow Human podcast episode 2. I think this is episode 2. I'm not too sure. It's episode 3 technically, but the pilot and then episode 1, 2. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm doing it on a pilot thing, and then we'll do series. I guess when it gets like episode 10, season 2 will be like episode 1. Like, we'll do 10 episodes a season. 10 episodes a season. I can speak now. But yeah, appreciate you. Stay safe. Goodbye.